Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy. Klint Kubiak met with the assembled media yesterday out west and had quite a few things to talk about now that the Saints have had the pads on for 2 days, just wrapped up day 3 in pads, and they will have a day off tomorrow before getting back after it. First preseason game not until next weekend. So they got some time. And obviously Klint Kubiak right now is kind of thought of as the one guy who can change the fortune of this franchise, which has been mired in the muck of mediocrity since Sean Payton and Drew Brees moved on. Klint Kubiak's the breath of fresh air. He's the guy that's supposed to come in, take what was a very, very average offense, elevate it so that the Saints' above-average defense can pair with that to become a better-than-league average team, which is what they've been essentially for the last 3 seasons. So Klint Kubiak had a number of things to say. We'll kind of run through them here. The first was talking about whether or not he can tell and when he can tell when a new offense is kind of gelling and coming together.
Well, I think it's stupid to say, but when we line up against Carolina, we want to see where we're at. You know, we want to be at our best in that first game. I think that we're really demanding of these guys, and we expect it to look right the first time. You know, is it going to be perfect? No, but that's what we expect as coaches, and we're trying to be really detailed as coaches and be hard on the guys. I am pleased with our progress. We're heading in the right direction.
That first part of the answer was kind of exactly where the entirety of the fan base is. It said, well, when will you know? Well, we'll go out there against Carolina, because nobody is really going to care what happens in the preseason. One, you don't expect Derek Carr to play hardly at all in the preseason. Last year he played 1 drive. It was brilliant. Right down the field, Sherman through Georgia. Touchdown. Oh, my God, they got something now. And it wasn't great when they got to the regular season. So everybody's got that thought process as we enter training camp. Nobody in black and gold, as far as the fan base goes, really cares what it looks like in joint practices or a preseason game or what the media has reported back or even what the coaches said. Let's see it against Carolina, and that's where Klint Kubiak kind of is at this point. How do you get the team to understand what you're trying to do? That was the next question asked of Klint Kubiak.
That's critical, you know. That's what we harp on every day in meetings. That's what we're teaching, and I think our guys have done a good job of understanding that. And that's our job as coaches to make it look the same, make them understand what we're trying to do. But it's on our players to go beat man coverage and go get open. So they have to know that it's not all scheme. Okay, you got to go win. So it's a two-way street.
So I think that's going to be incumbent upon the wide receivers. You're going to need Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed to beat man coverage time and time again. That's how you win in the NFL. The best wide receivers in the league are perfectly comfortable sitting down and beating zone defenses, but man-to-man is the bread and butter, and you've got to go get that done. And that's not necessarily scheme. That's dudes. And we think Chris Olave is a dude, and we think Rashid Shaheed is a dude. They got to be that, and they've proven enough where I don't necessarily doubt that to this point. But I think that there's reason to believe the Saints are okay right there. Let's go here to the fifth one back and talking about responding to adversity. Does he identify kind of what they look like when bad things happen? And when you're installing an offense, that's bound to happen.
Every day is adverse here against Coach Allen's defense and Joe Woods. Unbelievable scheme, really physical. Our defense rips the ball out better than anybody. They're forcing turnovers, so we're better just by going against them every day.
I do buy that. That is the one piece of Saints camp that is more compelling than LSU's fall practice. You're going to see a lot of ones-on-ones in live reps with the Saints. You're going to see Trevor Penning try to deal with Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson and Chase Young. You're going to see those DBs who are well-seasoned and we think very talented players go against these wide receivers. You're going to see Derek Carr facing off against a top half of the NFL defense. Like, that is compelling to an extent. LSU, we don't get to see a lot of it. There's a lot of no tackling that we get to see. It's just not as good an access, and that's college football versus the NFL for you. So I think that there is some quality that you can see from a reporting standpoint with what goes on at practice, because the ones and ones are doing a lot of work. Again, It's structured in a way that is kind of cultivated, and it's not exactly what you're going to see against Carolina coming up in the first game. But there's something to be said there, and I think that's a reasonable thing to expect. All right, Derek Carr, he's the straw that stirs this drink. He's the guy that's supposed to be the trigger man and make this thing work for Klint Kubiak, and the new offensive coordinator spoke about his quarterback.
I can't say enough good things about Carr. From the way he studies, the type of professional he is, he's very coachable. He's hard on himself. He's hard on his teammates. He's got the demeanor you want.
I think all that is exactly what we already know. I have no doubts about Derek Carr's ability to prepare. I have no doubt about his ability to be a pro. I have no doubt about his ability to speak with the media. I have no doubt about his intensity and his fire and his will to win. All of the intangible things Derek Carr's got. He's been in the league for better than a decade, 11 years. Like, he knows how to do this. Question is, can he do it? Can he make the plays? Can he make the throws? Can he avoid the mistakes? Can he make the plays in the red zone on third down? That's the question. It's not, is he a good guy? I know he's a good guy. It's not, is he a pro? I know he's a pro. It's not, does he understand what he's supposed to be doing? All of that we already know. It's, will he do it on the field? That's really more the issue. And again, not something we're going to find out until they play Carolina. Now, you heard the conviction in Klint Kubiak's voice talking about Derek Carr, and I think that's a good thing. I was listening to Jacob and T-Bob this morning, and T-Bob kind of really read a lot into that soundbite, saying, like, I think Kubiak really thinks he's got something in Carr, and Jacob kind of backed up and was like, I'm just not buying anything Derek Carr's selling. Until I see something September, October, November, just count me out on the Carr. Okay, and so I'm probably in the middle of that somewhere. I don't completely trust Derek Carr to revitalize his career, but I also think he's a very functional NFL quarterback. But you don't hear that same conviction when you hear the answer that he gave on Trevor Penning. Here are those thoughts from Klint Kubiak.
More of the same. From the start, he's been buying into everything we've coached him. We've been really pleased with him. And just up front, there's a lot of great leadership there. It starts with Eric McCoy, and guys follow Eric's lead. And Trevor is off to a good start.
Off to a good start. And let me tell you about Eric McCoy. He's the real leader up front. I think that is, look, if 10 is hard news and 1 is completely made up, I think that's probably somewhere around a 3. Like, it's not that big a deal. But I'm just trying to gather any scrap here or there that I can of positivity on Trevor Penning. And we did a segment about him yesterday, and we talked about it at length. And it's just, it doesn't feel great. And it would be a surprise, mildly, if it did feel great in year 3. But we laid out the reasons why it could be. And that answer, what do you think about Trevor Penning? Well, he's coming along, and Eric McCoy is a really good leader. Like, that's not a ringing endorsement. I don't know that anybody in black and gold really buys into the fact that they're going to salvage Trevor Penning. I think that you're going to look at him as long as you possibly can in this training camp, and then you're going to have to make a decision. And that doesn't have to come for another 4 weeks, but you're going to have to make a decision. I just don't know if it's going to go great. Last year, we saw him start the season at left tackle. You know how poorly it went. Just every single bit of information that you pile up doesn't feel great. When you look at the reps that he took yesterday, one against Carl Granderson, where he got absolutely cooked in a one-on-one. Now, one-on-one's there to benefit the D lineman. We know that, but he absolutely got cooked. And then you hear that answer, and it just doesn't feel super awesome when I hear answers and see video of Trevor Penning to this point. But we'll keep keeping you updated as best we can. That's Klint Kubiak talking about his new offense here as they're a week deep into training camp out there in Irvine. Hey, it's on. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.